Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Dwight Dunnigan, Ethanol Incorporated. Thank you for watching our videos here. I hope you're either subscribing to our channel or maybe this is your first time or you're interested in kind of what we're talking about or what we're doing here. Today, we're really focused on answering questions from social media comments and other platforms where people have reached out and said, gosh, we really want to understand this better, or we don't know why you're doing this, okay? So today we're answering a very unique question that keeps coming up from multiple platforms. And that question is, what's the genesis of this product? Why would we go out of our way? Why would we spend all these years developing something like this? And as we watched other people in this space try to do it and they weren't successful, they weren't able to get this across the finish line. Why did we stick with it? Okay, the why we stuck with it, that's pretty easy. We're a very tenacious, very excited group about bringing this to market. This is a passion for us, and I can give you some of the genesis story, all right? So assume for a second that out of the hundreds of thousands of people, and you can get some of these data points from our other videos, out of the hundreds of thousands of people per year that either overdose or struggle with drug addiction in America, you can probably imagine that each one of our leadership team, each one of the founders of this company, the two founders, they knew and or had direct contact with people in their lives that struggled with addiction. The hardest part for a family member, and I've attended both Al-Anon meetings and also worked in substance abuse. So if you're not familiar with Al-Anon, Google it. It's actually pretty cool. But Al-Anon is for the people on the outside of an addict's life. It's their family, their loved ones, their spouses. They can go to meetings and learn kind of what 12-step is. They can learn what recovery is. Okay, this is not a recovery podcast. This is about what drugs do to people. Okay, and our genesis story is Ethanol Incorporated. But explaining Al-Anon helps with that. The people in the life of an addict, they're external people that love them. They get pulled into a type of vortex of chaos. For any of my friends in the substance abuse world watching these, they're probably laughing a little bit or at least smiling right now when I say this because we talk about this vortex of chaos a ton. It's very challenging. The person in the addiction, they just want to be high. They just want to check out. They want to numb. They want to not feel things, or they want to feel a lot of things. They want to get more excited about life, whatever their rationalization is for using the drugs. It has a root word in the sentence. They want. They want to go do this. Now, you can talk about cravings. You can talk about this as a disease. You can talk about it as out of their control. Fine with all that. Ultimately, they have to either get into a car or walk with their own feet to go get the substance. That, in a fundamental way, is a choice. The people in their life don't want them to choose that. They want them to have a healthy, happy life, and they love them, so they want to be part of life with them, right? Once the person struggling with addiction makes the choice to go get the drugs, everyone in their life starts dealing with things usually in this kind of order. Lies first. The person in the addiction, they lie to everybody. The more their symptoms start to show, the more they lie. They'll either get defensive or reclusive. They'll either massively defend their lies, or they'll become completely in themselves, quiet, can't talk, don't want to admit it. That's the guilt-shame cycle of addiction. So here's people going through this, right? And their family members are frustrated. They don't want to deal with the lies. They want their loved one to be healthy. They want them to participate in life in a healthy, good way, right? Through Ethanol's story, as our founders kind of went through things with their own people in their lives, struggling with this, it was very hard. It takes a lot of mental power. It takes a lot of emotional intelligence. It takes a lot of patience. And anyone watching this that's gone through having somebody in addiction in their life, I know I'm preaching to the choir here. You've lived it. But for those of you who haven't, maybe don't understand how volatile this is, It can be phone calls from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. with the person trying to tell you all the details of their life. It can be trying to get them into a recovery center. Anybody that works in recovery, or maybe, God forbid, you're watching this, you're an admissions director, you could just laugh with me and maybe tell some people your story today. But the people that work in treatment as in admissions, they talk to people 24 hours a day, 3 a.m., 6 a.m., noon. It is a 24-hour-a-day job. Whenever that person feels like they've hit rock bottom and they want to go into treatment, you do whatever you can to get them in it. But it's not just the admissions directors that go through that. It's their loved ones and family too. It's the, I'm not ready, I don't need treatment, screw you, I don't want to do this, right? That's hard. It's really hard to see someone you care about want so badly to destroy everything that they're working so hard for, everything they've built in their life. And when the drugs take over, most people are willing to throw away everything. Marriages, relationships, jobs, careers, friends. They'll burn it all to the ground for the drug. So, in answer to the question of why Epinol was started, why are we so passionate about this? Why did we stick it out when we saw other people not able to get their science working or not able to get their product moving and they closed their doors or stopped? Why did we do it? We did it for that. There are spouses right now that just want their spouse to come home, blow into this machine, know that they're not taking any drugs, and remove the possibility of the lies. There are parents that are so tired of paying for treatment centers because the person's not ready. And before a holiday party, they just want to know if they're in for a tornado or if they're actually going to have their child be present and alert. Blow into the machine, let us know what we're in for, right? It doesn't feel good to say it that way. But if you've lived through addiction with somebody that you love or has been part of your family, I think this will resonate with you. Hey, if you've got more questions or comments on this, we open the door. We want to hear from you. We'll definitely respond. Feel free to comment on this or subscribe and get more content from us, all right? Thanks for watching.